Millionaire visits his childhood friend after 10 years and is shocked to see twins. Tyler Richardson stopped his imported car in front of the rusty gate and felt his heart race. 10 years had passed since the last time he set foot on those cobblestone streets of the neighborhood where he grew up, in the suburbs of Baltimore. His business success had taken him far, very far from there. Then the door of the modest house opened, and he saw Samantha Miller, his childhood friend. But before he could process the emotion of their reunion, two boys appeared behind her. Identical twins, about 9 years old, who made his blood run cold. The brown eyes, the shy smile, even the small birthmark on the neck that he had always tried to hide as a teenager. "Tyler?" Samantha's voice trembled. She tried to close the door quickly, but he had already stepped forward. "Samantha, wait. I need to talk to you," he said. His voice choked. The boys watched him curiously, not understanding why their mother was so nervous. "After 10 years, you show up here?" She gripped the doorknob tightly. "Leave, Tyler. Go away now." But he couldn't take his eyes off the boys. One held a school notebook, the other had a bandage on his knee. They were normal, playful kids, but there was something about them that hit him like a punch to the gut. "Who are they?" he whispered. Samantha closed her eyes for a moment. When she opened them, there were tears. "Mom, who is this man?" one of the boys asked. "Go play inside," she said firmly. "Now." The boys obeyed reluctantly, but Tyler heard one of them whisper to the other, "He looks like us, doesn't he?" The silence that followed was deafening. Tyler leaned against the gate, his legs weak. "Are they? They're yours," Samantha finally admitted, the words coming out like a painful sigh. "Ethan and Liam. They were born 9 months after you left for New York." The revelation hit him like an avalanche. 10 years. 10 years of life he had missed. 10 years of his sons growing up without knowing him. "Why didn't you ever tell me?" he asked, his voice breaking. "You think I didn't try?" Samantha laughed bitterly. "I called. I sent messages. I even wrote letters. Your assistant always said you were in meetings, traveling, too busy. After a year of trying, I got the message." Tyler vaguely remembered Jennifer, his former assistant, mentioning some calls she had deemed irrelevant from Baltimore. At the time, he was so focused on building his empire that he never questioned it. "I didn't know, Samantha. I swear to God I didn't know. And if you had?" She stared at him with hard eyes. "Would you have given up your promising career to come back here? To stay with the poor girl from the suburbs?" The question stung because he wasn't sure of the answer. At 25, he had been desperate to escape that life. The job offer in New York had seemed like his only chance for a fresh start. "I was young, I was scared, and I was pregnant and alone," Samantha cut him off. "But I survived. We survived." Just then, Mrs. Wilson, the elderly neighbor next door, appeared at the window. "Well, look who decided to show up," she said sarcastically. "The big-shot businessman from last week's magazine. What a coincidence, showing up right after that article about Maryland's millionaires." Tyler shrank back. The article had highlighted his success in construction, mentioning his humble beginnings. He never imagined anyone here would have seen it. "Mrs. Wilson, please," Samantha pleaded. "Don't please me, girl. He disappeared when you needed him most. I was the one who helped you when the boys were born, the one who watched them when you had to work overnight. Where was he when Ethan had pneumonia? Where was he when Liam broke his arm?" Every word from the old lady felt like a stab to the heart. Tyler looked at Samantha and saw the woman she had become, still beautiful, but with traces of weariness on her face. Her hands were calloused from years of hard work. Her blonde hair now had streaks of gray. "What do you do for a living?" he asked, trying to change the subject. "I work at a clothing store in the morning, tutor in the afternoon, and clean an office at night," she answered without shame. "I do what I have to do to support my kids." "Our kids," he corrected softly. "Yours," Samantha laughed bitterly. "You don't have kids, Tyler. You have a company, expensive cars, penthouse apartments. Ethan and Liam have one parent, me." Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps those of us just starting out. Now, back to the story. Tyler felt he needed to know more. He needed to understand what he had lost. "Let me at least meet them. Let me—" "No," Samantha was firm. "I won't let you waltz into their lives just to disappear again when you get tired of playing dad." "I won't disappear." "How can you promise that?" she asked. "You disappeared once." The door opened again, and one of the twins appeared. "Mom, Liam is sick again," the boy said, worried. Samantha immediately dropped the conversation and rushed inside. Tyler followed, ignoring her protests. In the boys' small room, one of them sat on the bed, struggling to breathe. "Where's the medicine?" Samantha asked, frantic. "It ran out yesterday, remember?" said Ethan, the healthy brother. "You said you'd buy more today." Tyler saw the desperation on Samantha's face. She opened her purse with trembling hands and counted the few bills she had. "It's not enough," she murmured to herself. "I'll pay," Tyler said immediately. "No," Samantha stood firm, even with her son suffering. "We don't need your charity." "It's not charity, it's responsibility," he replied, already pulling out his wallet. "Mom, please," Ethan pleaded. "Liam needs the medicine." Liam looked at Tyler with teary eyes. It was the first time he'd really seen him up close. The boy had the exact same eyes Tyler saw in the mirror every day. "Who are you?" Liam asked between labored breaths. Tyler glanced at Samantha, who shook her head, but he couldn't bring himself to lie to his own son. I'm your father." The room fell completely silent. Ethan's eyes widened, and Liam stopped crying for a moment. Samantha clenched her fists. "Tyler," she scolded. "They have a right to know," he said gently. "Our dad?" Ethan asked, disbelieving. "But didn't you die?" The question shattered Tyler's heart. Samantha had told them he was dead to spare them the painful truth. "No, son, I didn't die. I was away." "Why didn't you come back to see us?" Liam asked, momentarily forgetting his shortness of breath. Tyler didn't know how to answer. How could he explain to a child that he'd chosen success over family? "Let's get the medicine first," Samantha said, ending the conversation. "We'll talk about this later." At the pharmacy, Tyler insisted on paying and discovered the medicine cost over $300. A trivial amount for him, but clearly a strain on Samantha's budget. "How long has he had this breathing problem?" Tyler asked while they waited in line. "Since he was little. The doctors say it's chronic asthma made worse by the dampness in the house and stress." She avoided his gaze. "Stress? Kids can tell when their mum is worried, Tyler, and I've been worried for 10 years. Back at the house, Liam took the medicine and started feeling better." Tyler stood watching the boys play in the small backyard. Ethan was more outgoing, Liam quieter and more observant. Both were clearly bright. "Are they doing well in school?" he asked. "They're the top of their class," Samantha said proudly. "Ethan wants to be an engineer. Liam dreams of becoming a doctor." "Like me," Tyler murmured. He had studied engineering before dedicating himself to business. "They don't know that," Samantha said. "I never told them anything about you." Tyler felt a sharp pang of pain. His sons didn't even know what he did for a living, his accomplishments, nothing about his life. "Samantha, I want to help. I want to be part of their lives." "You want to ease your guilt," she corrected. "It's not the same." "Maybe it started that way, but now, seeing them..." He paused to gather his thoughts. "I lost 10 years, Samantha. 10 years I'll never get back. I don't want to miss another day." Samantha studied him for a long moment. "Do you have any idea what it's like to raise 2 kids alone? To work 3 jobs just to pay the bills? To stay awake when they're sick because you can't afford a private doctor?" "No, I don't," he admitted. "I don't." But I want to learn. I want to help." "With money?" she asked bitterly. "With whatever it takes." Just then, Samantha's brother Brian arrived from work. He was a construction worker, his hands still dirty with cement. When he saw Tyler, his expression darkened. "What's this guy doing here?" Brian asked, hostile. "Brian, please," Samantha pleaded. "No please about it." Brian stepped toward Tyler. "You've got the nerve to show up after 10 years? Do you know how many times I've seen my sister cry because of you?" "I didn't know about the boys," Tyler tried to explain. Liar, Brian shouted. Samantha tried to reach you so many times. Your secretary always said you were too busy for calls from old flings. Tyler paled. Had Jennifer really used that word? You know who carried Samantha to the hospital when she went into labor? Me. You know who took care of the boys when she had postpartum depression because she felt abandoned? Me. Where were you when Liam almost died of pneumonia at 2? Each word felt like a slap. Tyler shrank under the weight of them. Brian, stop, Samantha said, but he kept going. You built your empire on abandoning your own family, and now you show up in your fancy clothes, your imported car, wanting to play dad? The twins appeared at the door, frightened by the shouting. Liam started coughing again, clearly shaken by the argument. Go to your room, Samantha ordered. Now. I don't want this guy near my nephews, Brian said. They've suffered enough. They're my sons too, Tyler said, trying to stay calm. Sons? Brian laughed bitterly. Sons are the ones you raise, teach, protect. These boys only have one parent, their mother. Tyler knew Brian was right, but it hurt too much to admit. I want a chance to make things right. 10 years too late, Brian spat on the ground. Get out of here before I forget I'm in my sister's house. Samantha looked at Tyler with pity but shook her head. You should go. The boys shouldn't see you two fighting. Tyler left the house heartbroken. He got into his car and sat there, watching through the window as the boys peeked through the curtains. One of them, Ethan, waved timidly. Tyler waved back before starting the engine. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the lost 10 years, Brian's harsh words, the hurt in Samantha's eyes. But most of all, he thought about his sons, about Ethan, who wanted to be an engineer like him. In Liam, who dreamed of becoming a doctor but suffered due to the lack of a $300 medication. The next morning he returned. This time he brought gifts, educational games, books, clothes. Samantha met him at the door with a tired expression. Tyler, I asked you not to come back. I brought some things for the boys. We don't need your charity. They're gifts from a father, not charity. Samantha sighed. The boys appeared behind her, curious about the bags Tyler was carrying. Can I at least give these to them? She hesitated, but eventually let him in. The twins were delighted with the presents, especially a chemistry set Tyler had picked out for Liam. Do you like science? Tyler asked his son. I really do, Liam replied shyly. I want to find a cure for asthma. The answer touched Tyler deeply. His son wanted to heal himself. And you, Ethan? Your mum said you want to be an engineer. I want to build better houses for people, Ethan said excitedly. Houses without leaks or dampness. Tyler realized his children, even so young, were already thinking of solutions to the problems they faced. They were special. Can I help you with your studies? He offered. The boys looked at their mother, waiting for permission. Please, Mom, Ethan pleaded. He seems to know a lot about construction. And about medicine too? Liam asked. I know a little, Tyler smiled. I studied medicine for 2 years before switching to engineering. Samantha seemed surprised by this. It was something she hadn't known about him. You can stay for an hour. She finally relented. But then you leave. Tyler spent the happiest afternoon of the last 10 years helping his sons with their homework. Ethan had a real talent for math, and Liam asked incredibly smart questions about the human body. When it was time to leave, Liam asked, Are you coming back tomorrow? Tyler glanced at Samantha, who looked away. If your mom allows it, I'll come back anytime. We want you to come back, Ethan said. We've never had a dad before. The boy's words shattered any remaining resistance Samantha might have had. She nodded almost imperceptibly. You can come back tomorrow, she said quietly. In the days that followed, Tyler began to establish a routine. He arrived in the late afternoon, helped with homework, played a little, and left before dinner. Slowly he was building a relationship with his sons. But things got complicated when he discovered Liam had missed school several times due to asthma attacks. You can't miss so much school, Tyler said, worried. When he's like that, he can't go, Samantha explained. And I can't miss work to stay with him. Then I'll stay, Tyler offered. You? Samantha laughed. Do you know how to take care of a sick child? I can learn. Tyler, you have a company to run. You can't stay here nursing a sick child. I can work from home some days. Samantha looked at him skeptically, but finally agreed when Liam had a severe attack the following week. Tyler spent the whole day caring for his son. He prepared nebulizer treatments, gave medication on time, read stories to distract him. It was the first time he truly felt like a father. "Thank you for taking care of me," Liam said that night, feeling better. "No need to thank me, son. It's my duty. My duty now is to protect and care for you, always." Liam smiled and for the first time called Tyler Daddy. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. The weeks passed, and Tyler became more and more integrated into the family's routine. He would take the boys to school when Samantha needed to work early and pick them up when she couldn't leave work. He met their teachers and attended a parent-teacher meeting. It was during one of these meetings that he discovered something that made him furious. "The boys are excellent students," said the teacher, "but unfortunately they can't participate in the robotics project because we can't cover the cost of materials." "How much is it?" asked Tyler. "About $100 per child." Tyler immediately wanted to pay, but Samantha stopped him. "Not here," she whispered. After the meeting, they argued in the parking lot. "Why didn't you let me pay?" "Because I don't want everyone at school to know I need your help," she explained. "Samantha, they're our kids. Of course I'll pay for their things." "Our kids?" she repeated. "Since when are they our kids? When did you pay for their first doctor's visit? When did you buy their first diaper? When did you get up in the middle of the night because they were crying?" "I wasn't here," he said, feeling guilty. "Exactly. You weren't. And now you want to show up and pay for everything and feel like a father?" The argument was interrupted when Ethan came running over. "Mom, Dad, Liam fainted at school." They rushed to the nurse's office, where they found Liam unconscious. The nurse was flustered. "I've already called an ambulance." He was fine, and then suddenly he started feeling sick. At the hospital, the doctors ran several tests. Tyler paid for everything without a second thought, and this time Samantha didn't protest. "The tests show his asthma is getting worse," the doctor explained. "He needs more intensive treatment." "What kind of treatment?" asked Tyler. "There's a new medication, but it's expensive, and respiratory therapy would also help." "How much does it all cost?" Tyler wanted to know. "The medication is $400 a month, the therapy another $160. Samantha paled. Even with her 3 jobs, she couldn't afford it. "I'll pay," Tyler said immediately. "Tyler," Samantha started to protest. "No," he cut her off. "This time I won't take no for an answer. It's my son's health." Samantha knew she had no choice. She accepted the help, but Tyler could tell she felt diminished. In the days that followed, as Liam recovered, Tyler kept thinking about how he could help in a more permanent way, without making Samantha feel humiliated. That's when he had an idea. He had a few construction contracts in Baltimore, projects he always outsourced. What if he set up a small local company? Actually, Brian was a good mason. Tyler had seen some of his work and was impressed by the quality. What if he offered him a partnership? Over the weekend, he sought out Brian. "I'm thinking of starting a construction company here in Baltimore," said Tyler. "I need someone who knows the local market well. And you thought of me?" Brian laughed sarcastically. "The brother of the woman you left?" "I thought of you because you're good at what you do," Tyler said honestly. "I saw the wall you built for Mrs. Wilson. It was perfect." Brian was surprised by the praise. "What kind of partnership?" 50-50. You bring the local know-how and labor. I'll provide the capital and contracts." "Why would you do this?" "Because I want to stay close to my kids, and to do that, I need to put down roots here." Brian thought for a moment. "What if it fails?" "It won't. I already have 3 contracts lined up. They're mid-sized projects, enough to employ at least 20 people from Liberty Heights." The offer stirred something in Brian. He'd always dreamed of having his own company, but never had the capital to start. "I'll think about it," he said finally. 2 days later, Brian showed up at Samantha's house while Tyler was helping the boys with their homework. "I accept your offer," he said, but with two conditions. What are they? First, if you abandon my sister and the boys again, I take the entire company. Tyler nodded. Second, Samantha will also work at the company. She's good with numbers and organization. Tyler looked at Samantha, who seemed surprised. Would you be willing to work with me? He asked. Depends. What kind of work? Administration, financial control. You'd be the administrative manager. And how much would I make? $4,000 to start. Samantha was stunned. It was more than she made from all three of her jobs combined. I don't know, work with you? Think it over carefully, Samantha, said Brian. It's a golden opportunity. That night, after Tyler left, Samantha talked to the boys. What do you think about me working with your dad? That'd be cool, said Ethan. You'd spend more time together. And we'd see Dad more often, added Liam. Do you like him? Samantha asked. A lot, they answered in unison. He's different than I imagined, said Liam. How did you imagine him? I thought dads were just people who scolded us and worked a lot, but he plays with us and teaches us cool stuff. And he takes care of us when we're sick, Ethan added. Like you do. Samantha realized Tyler was really trying to be a good father. Maybe he deserved a chance. The next day, she accepted the offer. The company, named United Builders, started operating in a small rented office in the heart of Liberty Heights. Tyler invested an initial $200,000, and Brian brought a team of 10 skilled workers. Samantha discovered she had a real talent for administration. Within days, she had organized the entire financial system and secured a 20% reduction in material costs through supplier negotiations. You're really good at this, said Tyler, impressed. 10 years managing a household on a tight budget teaches you how to save, she replied with a smile. For the first time since Tyler's return, Samantha seemed relaxed. The new job gave her professional fulfillment, and the salary allowed for a more comfortable life. The boys loved the new routine. Tyler picked them up from school and took them to the office, where they did homework while their parents worked. On weekends, they visited ongoing construction sites. One day I'll build houses like this, said Ethan, amazed by a residential building they were erecting. And I'll have a doctor's office in one of these buildings, Liam dreamed. Tyler smiled. For the first time, his sons had concrete, achievable dreams. But the peace didn't last long. 3 months later, during a project in Liberty Heights, an accident occurred. A worker fell from the second floor and was hospitalized with multiple fractures. How did this happen? Asked Tyler, visibly shaken. The safety equipment failed, Brian explained. The rope was worn out. But don't you do daily inspections? We do, but that rope passed inspection yesterday. Tyler grew worried. An accident like this could ruin the company before it even took off. Will we get sued? Asked Samantha. Probably, Tyler sighed. And even if we don't, our reputation will be tarnished. News of the accident spread quickly through the neighborhood. Some residents began protesting the construction, saying the company didn't prioritize safety. They'll cancel the contract, said Brian, discouraged. We can't let that happen, Tyler thought quickly. Here's what we'll do. I'll cover all the workers' medical expenses plus compensation, and we'll implement an even stricter safety protocol. That'll cost a lot of money, Samantha noted. I'd rather lose money than lose people's trust. Tyler kept his word. He visited the worker at the hospital, paid all the medical bills, and even gave the family a compensation of $50,000. He also hired a workplace safety specialist to review all protocols. Tyler's attitude impressed the community. Instead of trying to avoid responsibility, he took full accountability and even improved working conditions. That young man has character, Mrs. Wilson remarked. He could have disappeared, but he stayed and fixed things. The project wasn't cancelled. On the contrary, 2 new contracts came in the following week. People who saw how Tyler handled the crisis trusted him. But the accident brought another problem. Tyler started spending more time at the office, personally overseeing every safety detail. That meant less time with his kids. Daddy, you don't pick me up from school anymore, Liam complained one night. I'm sorry, son. I'm really busy with the projects. Are you going to be like those dads who only work? Ethan asked, worried. The question hit Tyler hard. That was exactly what he didn't want to become. No, son. I promise I'll manage my time better. But keeping the promise was harder than he imagined. The company was growing fast, and Tyler felt he needed to control everything himself. "You're turning into the man who abandoned me," Samantha said one night. "A workaholic. It's different. Now I'm here." "Are you?" she challenged. "When was the last time you had dinner with us? When was the last time you helped the boys with their homework?" Tyler realized she was right. Over the past 2 weeks, he'd acted just like he had 10 years ago, obsessed with work. "You're right," he admitted. "I'll change." "Don't change for me," Samantha said. "Change for your kids. They're starting to miss you again." The next morning, Tyler made a radical decision. He called Brian and Samantha for a meeting. "I'm hiring a project manager," he announced. "Someone to handle the technical aspects while I focus on strategy and family." "Are you sure?" Brian asked. "It'll cost more." "I'm sure. What's the point of having a successful company if I lose my kids again?" Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. Tyler hired Michael, an experienced engineer who'd worked with him in New York. With the new manager in place, Tyler managed to regain a more balanced routine. But just as things seemed to settle, a new problem arose. During a routine checkup, doctors discovered Liam wasn't responding well to his asthma treatment. "We need to investigate further," the pulmonologist said. "There's something else going on." Further tests revealed something unexpected. Liam had a congenital lung malformation causing his breathing issues. "Is it operable?" Tyler asked anxiously. "Yes, but it's a complex surgery and expensive." "How much?" "Between $200,000 and $300,000. That's not including post-op costs." Tyler didn't hesitate. "Schedule the surgery, now." "Tyler," Samantha pulled him aside. "We don't have that kind of money." "I do." "From the company?" "No, mine. I'll sell my apartment in New York." Samantha was moved. Tyler was willing to give up his personal assets for his son. "You'd really do that?" "I'd do anything for our kids." The word "our" touched Samantha deeply. For the first time in 10 years, she truly believed Tyler was committed to the family. The surgery was scheduled for the following week. Liam got nervous when he found out. "What if something goes wrong?" he asked. "It won't," Tyler reassured him. "The doctors are the best in the state." "But what if I don't wake up?" Tyler felt his heart tighten. He hugged his son tightly. "You will wake up, you'll get better, and you'll fulfill your dream of becoming a doctor, I promise." On the eve of the surgery, the family spent the whole day together. Tyler cancelled all his work commitments. They went to the park, ate popcorn, played ball. Ethan tried to keep the mood light, but he was clearly worried about his brother. "Ethan, are you okay?" Tyler asked. "I'm scared," the boy admitted. "What if Liam doesn't get better?" "He will," Tyler said firmly. "And you know why?" "Because he's strong, like his mother. And because he has a family that loves him very much." "Do you promise you won't leave if something happens?" Ethan asked. "I promise. No matter what happens, I'll be here with you." On the morning of the surgery, the whole family accompanied Liam to the hospital. Brian came too, along with Mrs. Wilson and other neighbors. Tyler was moved by how many people cared about his son. The surgery lasted 6 hours. Tyler spent the whole time pacing the halls, unable to focus on anything else. Samantha was pale. Ethan cried softly. "Everything will be fine," Tyler repeated like a mantra. When the surgeon finally appeared, Tyler's legs felt weak. "The surgery was a success," the doctor announced. "Liam will make a full recovery. In a few months, he'll be able to do everything a normal child can." The relief was universal. Samantha started crying. Ethan jumped for joy. Brian hugged Tyler. Even Mrs. Wilson, who had always been critical of him, smiled. "Can I see my son?" Tyler asked. "He's still recovering from anesthesia, but you can see him briefly." Liam was pale but breathing normally for the first time in years. Tyler held his small, cold hand. "Hello, son." Liam slowly opened his eyes and smiled when he saw his father. "Daddy, you stayed." "I promised I would." and I always will. During the recovery, Tyler practically lived at the hospital. He slept in a chair by his son's bed, helped with breathing exercises, read stories. "You don't have to be here all the time," Samantha said. "You have the company to take care of." "The company can wait. My son is more important." It was during that week in the hospital that Tyler and Samantha truly reconnected. They spent hours talking while Liam slept. "I made so many mistakes, Samantha," Tyler said one night. 10 years ago, I was so afraid of being poor forever that I couldn't see what really mattered. And what matters? Family, love, being there for the moments that shape the lives of the people we love. "You were so young," Samantha said gently. "We all were. That doesn't excuse what I did. It doesn't excuse leaving you to go through everything alone." "I wasn't alone," she smiled. "There was Brian, Mrs. Wilson, the neighbors, and most of all, there were the boys. They gave me the strength to keep going." "They're amazing. They're your sons," Samantha laughed. "They have your stubbornness and your determination." Tyler smiled. It was the first time Samantha had spoken of the boys as his sons too, without bitterness. When Liam was discharged, the whole family celebrated. He was breathing perfectly for the first time in his life. "Can I run now?" he asked the doctor. "You can run, swim, play ball. You can do everything." Liam looked at Tyler with shining eyes. "Daddy, do you want to play ball with me?" "I do, son. Whenever you want." The following months were the happiest of Tyler's life. The company was doing well. Liam had fully recovered, Ethan continued to excel in school, and he was finally building a real relationship with his sons. Samantha also seemed more at ease. The job at the company fulfilled her. The salary allowed for a comfortable life, and she saw that Tyler was truly committed to the family. But Tyler wanted more. He wanted to make his presence in the boys' lives official. "Samantha, I'd like to establish paternity," he said one evening. "Why?" "Because I want them to have my name. I want them to have all the legal rights as my children, and I want them to know I fully take responsibility for them." Samantha thought for a moment. "They'll love having your last name. And I'll love giving them my last name." The legal process was quick. Within weeks, Ethan and Liam officially became Ethan Richardson Miller and Liam Richardson Miller. "Now we're a real family," Ethan said the day they received the new documents. "We've always been a family," Tyler corrected. "Now it's just official." But Tyler wanted to take it a step further. One Sunday night after the boys had gone to bed, he spoke to Samantha. "Samantha, there's something I need to tell you." "What is it?" Tyler took a deep breath. "I love you." Samantha stayed silent for a long moment. "Tyler, no, let me finish. I've always loved you. 10 years ago when I left, I was in love with you. But I was scared. Scared of being poor. Scared I couldn't give you the life you deserved. And now I know the life you deserve is one with love, with presence, with partnership. And I can give that to you." Samantha stood and walked to the window. "Tyler, we have children together. We work together. We have a good life. Why complicate things?" "Because I want more. I want to be your real partner. I want to build a complete family with you." "What if it doesn't work? What if you get tired of me, of this life?" "I won't get tired. These have been the best months of my life." Samantha turned to him. "I love you too, Tyler. I always have. Even when I was angry, even when I thought I hated you, part of me always loved you. Then marry me." The words came out before Tyler could even think. Samantha's eyes widened. "What?" "Marry me, Samantha. Let's make a real family." "Tyler, are you sure?" "Absolutely." Samantha smiled, her eyes filling with tears. "Yes." They kissed for the first time in 10 years. It was a kiss filled with history, pain, forgiveness, and hope. The next day they told the boys. "You're getting married?" Ethan asked excitedly. "If you want us to," Samantha said. "Of course we do," they both exclaimed. "Then we'll finally have a normal family," Liam said. "Our family was always normal," Tyler replied. "Just incomplete. Now it'll be complete." The wedding was simple, held at the neighborhood church with family and friends. Brian was Tyler's best man. Mrs. Wilson was Samantha's matron of honor. Ethan and Liam carried the rings. I, Tyler Richardson, promise to love and care for Samantha forever, he said during the vows. I promise to be the husband she deserves and the father our children need. I, Samantha Miller, promise to love and support Tyler, she said. I promise to build with him the family we've always dreamed of. When the priest declared them husband and wife, the boys cheered with joy. The whole church applauded. At the reception, held in Brian's backyard, Tyler gave an emotional speech. A year ago, I was a rich but empty man. I had money but no family. I had success but no love. Today, I'm truly rich. Rich in love, rich in family, rich in happiness. And we're rich to have you back, Samantha said. 6 months after the wedding, they moved to a bigger house still in the same neighborhood. Tyler made sure it was close to Mrs. Wilson and the family's longtime friends. The company continued to grow. They already had 15 employees and were building a small housing complex for low-income families. It's your way of giving back to the community, observed Samantha. It's our way, corrected Tyler. Everything I do now is ours. The boys were thriving wonderfully. Ethan, at 10 years old, was already designing house projects on the computer. Liam, fully recovered, was swimming competitively and wanted to study veterinary medicine in addition to human medicine. To take care of people and animals, he explained. A complete doctor, Tyler teased. One afternoon, as he watched his sons playing in the backyard of their new home, Tyler reflected on his journey. 10 years ago, he had walked away from everything in pursuit of success. Now he realized true success was in the family he had almost lost forever. What are you thinking about? Samantha asked, sitting beside him. I'm thinking I'm the luckiest man in the world. Why? Because I got a second chance. How many people get the opportunity to fix their biggest mistakes? You made the most of that chance, she said. It wasn't luck. It was hard work, dedication, love. Our love, he corrected. Ethan ran up to them. Dad, Mom, come see the house design I made. Tyler and Samantha stood to look at their son's drawing. It was a simple house, but filled with functional details. This is the living room where the family gathers, Ethan explained. This is the parents' bedroom, really big. And these are the kids' rooms, side by side, so they'll always be friends. It's a beautiful house, son, Tyler said, moved. When I grow up, I'll build houses like this for all families. And I'll have a clinic to take care of those families' health, added Liam, who had joined them. Tyler hugged both his sons and his wife, his family, his complete life. You know what, he said. I think you're going to build a better world. We'll build it together, Ethan said. As a family, Liam finished. Tyler smiled. 10 years ago, he had left in search of success and walked away from his family. Now he understood that true success was family, and he would never walk away again. At dusk, after the boys had gone to bed, Tyler and Samantha sat on the porch of their new home. The view was the same as always, the modest houses of the neighborhood, the cobblestone streets, the quiet life of the community. Do you regret anything? Samantha asked. I regret taking 10 years to come back, Tyler said, but I don't regret coming back. And if you had to choose again, between success out there and family here? Tyler didn't hesitate. Family. Always family. Samantha smiled and rested her head on her husband's shoulder. They stayed there in silence, watching the moon rise between the clouds. Tyler? Thank you for coming back. Thank you for waiting. I wasn't waiting, she laughed. I was living. Then thank you for letting me be part of your life again. Our life, she corrected. Now it's our life. And it truly was. A life built on the ruins of 10 lost years, but as solid as the houses Tyler constructed. A life with foundations deep in love, walls strong with trust, and a roof of hope covering it all. That night, Tyler slept more peacefully than he had in 10 years. He knew he'd wake the next morning beside the woman he loved, with his sons in the next room, in a house that was truly a home. He had finally found real success. The end. So, what did you think of this story of new beginnings and forgiveness? Tell us in the comments if you believe Tyler deserved this second chance and what you would have done in Samantha's place. Your opinion means a lot to us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.